Hi guys, today's video is going to be an update on my hair because I got a haircut. But it's also going to be an update on my alopecia because I've been getting asked on how I'm doing. So I thought I would combine the two videos in one because to me they're kind of relatable just because my haircuts are, I work around my alopecia when it comes to my haircuts, and it's been like that since I got diagnosed. So let me start off with the haircut first. I got it cut about 4 days ago and we went pretty short. It's a very short pixie, so it's super short on the sides and then a little bit longer on the top, but the bangs actually don't come further down than this. This is probably the worst hairstyle to show you guys, but because I have a little, well, I attempted a tidal wave today, but I don't know how well I did. But anyways, whatever. So these parts are not as long. They come about this far down basically. We went pretty short this time around because I have a lot of regrowth and it's in different stages right now. So I had hair regrowth about yay big, and yay big, and it was just basically all around because a lot of the hair that I lost was in this area right here. So let me show you guys the sides. I think she went to a size 2.5 on the sides. Pretty short. And then let me show the back, same thing. And then these parts, as always, she leaves very long because I do have a flat head. So this little bulk of hair right here, which is a couple of inches long, helps round out my head. And then same on this side. And then this side, you can see a little bit of sparseness in this area. That's my alopecia. It's been like that for a couple months and it's just not growing back. And then same thing on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link my previous or my playlist down below because I do have a playlist. If you guys want to see my journey and where I was before, because I did have quite a bit of hair loss, but right now I have a lot of regrowth and I'm so happy about that. Excuse me. So these areas is the areas that she focused on kind of evening out. When I went into her, like I said, I had different growing points all throughout my hair. So I basically asked her to just cut it all down and even it out as much as she could, because when I lost my hair, I had started losing it in quarter size bald spots, but then they spread and they became about yay big, and one of them was over here and then I had another one back here, and it just they both just spread into the rest of it. So in the center right here, it wasn't like a bald spot, I lost it everywhere and I had very little hair to work with. So if I pulled my hair up, you could see my scalp through it. It was so little hair. I mean, one little wind blow and you could see my scalp basically throughout my entire head. I also lost hair back here. Now, although you can see that I have hair, it's not nearly as much as I had before and it's a lot thinner. You guys may not be able to tell. I can definitely tell. My hairstylist can actually tell too. I have this little sparse area right here, which like I said has been like that for a couple of months, but honestly it's not a big deal. She was actually concerned when she was cutting my hair. She's like, you're gonna be able to tell, and I said I don't really care at this point, honestly, because this is nothing compared to what it was before. Although I had a lot of regrowth, I've noticed a few things. So from my last maybe 1 or 2 updates ago, I think I have this hair right here, just one hair actually that grew back. It's not a gray hair, it's not gray, but it's not blonde. It's really strange actually. It's kind of in between both, and it's just the one hair that grew back in a different color. And then I have you can see a little bit of the sparseness like in this area. This has been like that I think for 3 or 4 months and it's just not growing back, which is something to keep in mind when you lose your hair. If you have alopecia, sometimes the hair follicle is damaged, so you're not going to get regrowth in some of the areas. That is possible. It doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, but I'm just saying because it's happened to me. Like this little area just never filled in, and it's just, I don't know, I've accepted that it's just going to stay like that, but it's not a big deal. It's not really noticeable or anything like that, so no biggie. And then I still have thinness here, but it's because, not thinness, but it just, although I've had a lot of regrowth, I noticed that my hair did not grow back the same. It's ratty and it's very like frayed, almost like very thin. So it didn't grow back as thick as it was before. I have a lot of hair and I have very thick hair. Almost it looks like thread. Some of the hairs look like thread because they were so thick. They didn't grow back like that. So although I have a lot more hair than I did before, when it's dry and stuff, it still feels like a little bit of hair because it's so thin now, and my hairstylist actually noticed that. So before, where she had to, you know, thin it out and texturize it and stuff like that, to kind of thin out my hair because I had so much of it, this time around she couldn't actually do that because it's so stringy and thin, that it would just make it look even more flat. So she didn't have to do that. It's kind of funny because when I had a lot of hair, I really wanted to have very thin hair. I was sick of having Mufasa hair. And now that I have very thin hair, I wish I had thicker hair. We're never satisfied, you know? So either way, I'm still very, very thankful. Another thing that I've noticed is that my scalp has been very sensitive. And it's funny because I think somebody mentioned it in 1 or 2 videos ago, that their scalp was very sensitive. It felt irritated, I think is what they said. And I had not experienced that before until a couple of weeks ago. I started experiencing, just so if I touch certain areas, it feels irritated. It feels very sensitive. So it's just something to be mindful. I think that's it. That's all I had to say about the haircut and then what's been going on. Now emotionally, I feel fine. Honestly, when I found out I had alopecia, it hit me hard, but a month and a half or 2 months into it, I got a grip on it and I just said, it is what it is, and there's really nothing I can do. I'm not going to tell you that I didn't have really crappy days where I felt really bad, because a few months ago, I mean, I was basically almost bald in this whole area, so it was very upsetting to me. And it was very difficult, and I was trying to cover it up, and then, you know, staring at my hair all the time, and it was just, you know, overwhelming. And I don't do that anymore. Honestly, I walk around like nothing, basically. And I was doing that also when I had a lot of sparseness and, you know, loss of hair in this area. I stopped focusing on my hair and really looking at my hair because I found that would just add more stress. Now, I think in a previous video I mentioned that I noticed that whenever I'm highly emotional is when my hair starts falling out. I can't control that. I'm a human being and I'm a highly emotional person. So you know, I was like, well, it is what it is. You know, my hair's gonna fall and it's gonna fall and that's it. Now, I am very aware that although I have regrowth, it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna lose my hair again. It's a reality, and it's not like I expected, but I just don't really think about it. You know, I'll think about it when the time comes. I've read about people having, you know, a full head of hair and then years later, you know, they lose it again. So I would definitely recommend that you guys look on blogs and forums and just, I don't have a particular favorite, you know, but I've just read online basically people's experiences, or people in the comments, you know, in the videos that I've made have shared their stories, which is really, really great. It's a really great, I think, community. Everybody wants to help each other out or be there for each other, which I think is really great. Which is another reason why I continue making these videos, because I find that they're not only helpful for you, but they've been very therapeutic for me as well. Now, things that I've been doing health-wise, I can't tell you that this is what's gonna work for you, okay? I have tried to change the way that I eat, although I haven't been doing so well lately. I tried to consume less animal products, but like lately, I really, you know, I've been consuming animal products. I try to take my vitamins, but again, I'm not very good at it. I forget often, and but what I think has helped me is basically not think about it. Go on about my day like nothing, basically. And I think that has made the biggest impact on me, not only emotionally, but I think just the loss of hair. I just don't worry about it anymore, you know. And somebody asked me, you know, or told me that they got diagnosed and they're really having a hard time accepting it, and it's okay. Like it's okay, honestly. Although I got a grip on how I was feeling early on, I still had my bad days, you know what I mean? And it's okay for you to feel bad. It's okay for you to feel sad. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to be angry even, like why is this happening? You're gonna deal with it, and it's gonna take you as long as it needs to take you for you to accept it. And it's totally okay. There is no guideline for it. Somebody asked me also, sharing it with loved ones. I can't tell you when you need to share with your loved ones. I can only tell you how I dealt with it. But I'm a very open person with my family and my very close friends, very few friends that I have. So for me, sharing it with loved ones, I shared it the moment that I walked out of the doctor's office. I called my husband, I called my sisters, I called my parents, and I called a couple of friends. And that was it. And it was very easy for me to do that because, again, I have a very open relationship with them, and I didn't feel uncomfortable sharing it. You know, I just wanted to let them know, hey, this is going on, and that was that. Have I shared it with everybody personally, like in person? No, I don't mention it in conversations, really, honestly. I think it's kind of funny because I made the YouTube video, the first alopecia video, in April, I want to say, and it was a lot easier for me to make that video and share it with the world and people that I truly don't know personally, you know. It was a lot easier for me to share it in this platform than it was to share it in my personal Facebook, because in my personal Facebook, although I have family and friends, very close friends, I also have people friends that I don't talk to regularly, or old co-workers or old schoolmates, and family from, you know, a different country or out of town or whatever, people that I don't talk to personally in person or on the phone on a regular basis. It was a lot easier for me to share on YouTube than it was for me to share it on that platform. Now, I'm not saying that you need to share it on social media platforms at all, but I did just because I wanted to make people aware of it. Not a lot of people have heard of alopecia, and it's a lot more common than you think. You know, all of a sudden everybody knows somebody that has it, and it's shocking to me because I didn't know about it. Now, I want to share this experience and sharing it on social media because I had interesting responses, okay? All of a sudden, everybody had a cure for me, which is coming from a good place, okay? But everybody had a cure for me, and they were from polar opposite ends of the spectrum, basically. And I got a response. One response was, well, at least it's not cancer, which is so insensitive to me. And then somebody else said, oh, well, I know somebody that has it and it's not a big deal, you'll be fine, which is also very insensitive. The point is that you're going to have people, I think people mean well. I truly do believe that people mean well. But sometimes the way that things come across is very, very insensitive. I think that last comment was very upsetting to me, because how are you going to tell me that it's not a big deal? I can't tell you, even though I have alopecia and say you have alopecia, I cannot tell you how to deal with it or tell you that it's not a big deal, because although it may not be a big deal to me, it may be a really big deal to you, and it's okay. Like, and then another thing is, you know, the fact that it was especially upsetting to me because it came from somebody who has never experienced hair loss of any sort. So for that person to tell me that it's not a big deal, it's like, well, you haven't even gone through it, so how are you going to tell me that it's not a big deal, basically? You know, it was so offensive to me. Just because you know somebody doesn't mean you know what I'm going through. I don't know what you're going through. I have alopecia and I don't know what you're going through. And basically the whole point is that be aware that people are going to have all kinds of opinions. Everybody's going to have a cure, which I know those, you know, as far as this works and this works and this works, people, you know, it's coming from a good place. People want to help you out. So be aware that everybody's going to have something to say to you, and it's up to you to take it as you will. Some of them were offensive, and I just kind of had to sweep them up under the rug. And as far as, you know, recommendations for cures and stuff like that, scientifically, there is no cure, okay? Educate yourself. There are things that have worked for some people, but maybe have not worked for others. I am the kind of person, I decided early on that I was not going to go through any kind of treatment, whether holistic or whether from the doctor's office. I didn't want to do steroids. That's just my personal choice. I didn't feel like I wanted to chase my tail around. It was more stress that was going to be added to me as far as worrying about it. and I didn't want to go that route. I also didn't want to be going into different cures like this worked for this person and this worked for this person and this worked for this person. I have heard of people trying 20 different things and finally they had their hair grow back, but they don't even know what worked for them because they tried so many things. I didn't want to do that because I felt like I was going to stress myself. I'm the kind of person though that is kind of like, yeah, it is what it is, and that's that. I'm sorry, I have really bad I'm sick and I have bad allergies right now too. I'm just the kind of person that is just, I'm gonna let my body do what it needs to do. Yes, I'm gonna try to take better care of myself, but I'm not gonna be going out and really making a huge effort. That's just the way that I felt was the best way for me to approach it. Now, if you feel like you need to go find a cure, find something that's gonna help your hair grow back, and then you do that. You do whatever you feel like is best for you. I cannot tell you how to do that. I cannot tell you how to share or when to share with your family, because you're going to do it whenever you feel ready. It could take you a month, it could take you 2 months, it could take you years, and it's totally okay. It's basically is what I'm telling you is however you feel like you need to handle it, it's okay. There is no right or wrong way to do it. I think that's everything that I wanted to say. I hope that you guys are doing better. I hope that you guys find these videos helpful in some way. You know, I feel like it's just repeating myself in every video, but I have had comments saying that this video helped them out so much, and I'm so thankful. As long as it helps one person, it makes me so happy, honestly, and it makes me feel like there's a purpose and there's a reason as to why I'm going through this. That's everything, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly appreciate it. Leave your comments down below. I want to let you know that you're not alone. You know, there's so many people that are going through this. Doesn't make your condition any less important, but you are not alone. If you need some kind of advice or recommendations or whatever, leave them in the comment section below. We can chat, we can have a conversation. You can also private message me as well, and I will also leave my email down below, and then we can email back and forth. I try to check it more regularly now. So that's everything. I hope you guys are having a great week or weekend whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.